Now we gotta cover up them eyebrows, or lack thereof in my case. I'm just using Elmer's glue, stick glue, purple glue, green glue, whatever works for you. Make sure it's Elmer's and like waterproof, wash this off, because you don't want to put like super glue in your eyebrows, because do I need to explain myself there? You're going to put it through your eyebrows and comb the hairs upwards, and then set it with a translucent powder, and you can repeat that as necessary. You're just trying to get those eyebrows to stick flat on your forehead so it doesn't look like you have eyebrow hairs sticking up, but you want to end with translucent powder. Then you can go over with a concealer shade. I'm doing this because I want it to match my skin so everything looks even when I put my foundation color on top. And then you want to set it again with a translucent or a colored powder, whatever you are feeling that day. Now we want to create the heart-shaped wound that we're going to put around our eye. I'm using skin-tight silicone. Please only use silicone if you have experience with it. If you don't, maybe try some paper towel and liquid latex, but don't put the liquid latex in your eyebrows or anything like that, because it will rip those hairs out. But we're just going to mix the silicone, yada yada yada, let it get settled in, and then we're going to start creating the shape around our eye. And please have your eyes closed when you're doing this, or have a friend help you. You don't want this to get in your eyeball. We don't want any silicone in our eyeballs, okay? And then once you have it set and it's starting to get kind of tacky and firm up, then you can go in and cut out that heart shape so it looks like you have a little scar or heart cut. See what I'm saying? Now before we go in with any other color, you want to set the silicone with a translucent powder, and you want to do this so that it doesn't look shiny. Then you want to go in with some red on top of it, because even though we're adding other colors besides my skin tone in there, you still want to blend it to make it look like real skin. So when you add in those pale blues and purples, it doesn't stand out from the rest of your foundation. Then you're going to set it with translucent powder, and now you can go in and match it to your foundation or your skin tone a little bit. Mine came out just a little bit lighter, but that's okay because we're adding lighter colors on top of it. Okay, now you want to start adding some definition into the face. So we're gonna kind of like when you're making a bruise, you want to add some purples in there around where the blood likes to pool. You can create your contouring this way. That blue got a little too intense, so we're just gonna pretend that didn't happen. Now once you have that set in the way you want it, you're going to go in with your foundation. You can use any kind of foundation you want. You can use face paints. I'm using Airbrush. This is Temp 2 silicone based face paints or colored foundations, and I'm just making a really pale icy kind of color. You don't want it to be so blue that it looks fake. You just want to make yourself look kind of paled out and like you're frostbitten. And if you hear any crazy noises in the background, it's because my dogs picked right now when I'm doing voiceovers to get up and walk around. They were sleeping all day. But you know how it is when you got to get something done. They're like, hey, I'm here. Yeah. Once you are satisfied with your base foundation color, I decided to go in with a little bit more of a purpley tone and start doing some light contouring, where you want your neck to stand out more, where you want your cheekbones to stand out more, maybe a little on the nose, framing your face, stuff like that. Now I'm going in with some No Color Powder by RCMA. I can't talk today. Basically, I just want to make sure those colors are set where I place them. So now, in order to add some more depth, I'm going in with one of those little black spongy things. I don't know the correct terms for them, but they're those wiry feeling things. I am doing that because if you've ever had such a bad bruise, you can see the blood kind of pool in the different spots. Like you can see all your different blood vessels or capillaries. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. I just know what it looks like. So we're just creating those little patches where most of the blood will pool, just to create some different textures and definition. Doing the same thing with the white, just adding different parts to break up the skin so it doesn't look like you have harsh lines, like you're trying to trick your eye into being like, oh, that looks like real skin, right? Yeah? Huh? Can you guess what I'm about to do with the black face paint? Yep, we're adding more depth into those parts. This is all just about creating light and shadows, lighting and shading, highlighting and contouring. Just you want to look like you are dying or dead or froze to death. Basically any place that you want to look sunken in or concave is where you're going to put your darker colors. Now what kind of ice queen of hearts are you if you don't got your eyebrows? We just want to create little hairs. I think I started off using a cream-based paint, then went in with the Mayron Paradise paints. It is a water-activated face paint. It's a little bit more saturated. You can use a white eyeliner. You can use whatever floats your little boat. Just make sure you kind of create upward strokes to make eyebrow hairs. I will not accept cinder blocks for eyebrows. Now it's time to party as we get our heart-shaped wound looking nasty. I am using a darker red. It is more of a muted shade with a little tint of brown in it. It's not a true red. You don't want it to be a true red because it's going to be too bright and too fake looking. I'm just following along the lines of the indentation that we created when we put the silicone on, and then making little marks inside and outside of the cut to make it look a little bit more irritated and a little bit more rough around the edges. You know, like it's trying to heal but it can't, and you just keep peeling the skin away because it's cracking. That's what we're doing. Now when you're an ice queen, you don't have access to moisturizer because it's so dry when it's cold. So we want to add a little bit of blood throughout where we put our contours and stuff to make it look like our skin is kind of cracked and you just have like little patches of blood coming through. Like that. Okay, so for whatever reason I thought it was a good idea to add a red into the white eyebrow and it started to look like a candy cane. So we are going to scratch that, mark it off. I'm adding a little bit of purple in there, just add some definition so it doesn't look like a straight white whatever, and then we're calling it a day. Now we want to create some ice crystals. So I'm just using the big chunks of sea salt and some spirit gum. And the trick with spirit gum is you want it to let it get tacky a little bit before you stick anything on there like I'm doing, and you're just going to take little salt crystals. Erin, can you talk today? No, I can't. Just placing it on her face. You can use sugar if you want. That will work too. I'm trying to talk fast with braces and like my mouth can't do it. Now in regards to the heart wound, you can either leave it kind of scarred out looking like it is there, or you can add some fake blood like I did. I also put it in my lips and where we placed that red before in our contour, so it looks like that blood is popping through because your skin is so dry and crackled. And then I added some stuff on my hands because it ain't complete in pictures if your hands aren't frostbitten either. Don't forget to subscribe. Oh my god. That was weird. Okay, that was weirder than I thought. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like my videos. You know what to do.